growly bear, the pipes are calling. From glen to glen and down the mountainside. That's all I got.
Recorded live in a studio right next to an actual functioning chicken coop, it's the Indispensable Thursday Show with Sable and Dave.
Live from Green Acres Studios, next to the chicken coop.
Right, so Dave had to bring some more bourbon tonight. Dave, thanks for bringing over Makers
Makers make?
Markers make.
Yeah.
Maker's Mark. And I appreciate that because you left, maybe accidentally,
that's right,
a very fine bourbon here at the house.
Last week I left my broken bell. Now I got to take two home with me.
Take two home? You had to bring more. I told you I would take good care of it for you.
Don't take advantage of my senility. Son of a bitch.
You know, next time you don't want me to drink your whiskey, don't leave good stuff over here.
Mm-hmm. That reminds me of a Van Halen song called "Take Your Whiskey Home." You know that one? We should close with that a little.
You want to cue it up at the end?
Cue it up, yeah. I'll get it going.
Oh, that's good. We might get a YouTube takedown. That's why we stick with the complete original works of Chris Morrison. Most of our stuff.
Well, maybe he can quickly work us up a K-Tel version of it.
Oh, Chris, if you're out there,
we used to call them K-Tel versions. You know what that means?
No.
It was back in the old days when I was studying film. They would call it a K-Tel version, which is like you just do your own version of the song. You try to make a mock-up of it. K-Tel was like a record company that would do cheesy record company, or like you see them on Kmart. But I don't know if they did fake versions, but they would have cheap knockoff recordings of the stuff. I don't know. So.
Okay, makes sense. Well, I wanted to start with a little follow-up from my Right Girl event. Lights, camera, right girl. Since I talked about it so much, I actually don't know if any listeners were there because there was like 150 people and I didn't talk to them all.
Drunk.
And I was drinking.
Yeah.
That's right. Mostly women. And it was a range. It was like the women in the program, which were teenagers, and I don't talk to teenagers, or older women who were there participating and, giving and donating, like they do. And it was really weird to be in the middle. It was like, there's really nobody here in my age group. But it was a cool thing.
You're like a walking microaggression in there, too.
I was a walking microaggression. White guy? Come on. No, they were fantastic. They had a nice little cocktail reception. The bartender liked me right away.
Mm-hmm.
He filled up my glass. I didn't even ask.
Gay?
No, I gave him a tip.
Okay. Well,
when my wife went up there to get wine. So it was cool. They have a little program, and I'm glad they had a program because, everybody wanted to know who were the actors, and I don't pay attention. So we got to see Keiko Agina from Gilmore Girls. Mm-hmm. She was very funny, subtly funny. Mm-hmm. Asha Davis from Friday Night Lights.
Mm-hmm. Never heard of either of them.
And a whole bunch of stuff on Comedy
I'm
Central.
Sure, they're very nice ladies, though.
She was ridiculously funny. She was hilarious. And these are all women, by the way, and grown men playing teenagers. Then there was Tembi Locke. I don't know. She was good. Wendy McClendon Covey. Do you know this lady?
No. It's a very annoying hyphenated name, though.
Have you ever seen The Goldbergs?
What was it again? Wendy
McClendon Covey.
McClendon Covey. Ugh.
You see that picture? She does not look like that headshot anymore.
No.
That's like a 20-year-old headshot.
Yeah.
But she was...
She's easy on the eyes.
She was...
All these ladies are easy on the eyes.
She was so hilarious. This Wendy, man. Oh, man.
That's all they care about. They just want to be attractive to men. So I wanted to say that.
Oh, okay. As long as that's how women get their value. Mm-hmm. But the real money was in the panel of TV and film writers. So I thought maybe you might know some of these people.
Okay.
Jane Anderson.
No.
Rachel
That's a pretty
Feldman.
common name. I might know. I don't. Yeah.
Rachel Feldman.
No. You mean do I know them personally, or do I know their work?
Either.
Keep going.
Jessica Goldstein.
No.
Oh, I actually knew her because I watched Cougar Town.
Shame on you.
Liz Kruger.
No.
I don't know.
I don't know any of these people. I don't keep up with the female writers for some strange reason. I don't know why.
You don't talk to them?
Screenwriters I know what's that chick who won the Oscar for that movie about the young girl that wasn't very good. Was Juno? Didn't she write a screenplay for that
Juno.
one? What's her name? She has a weird name, I forgot. I'll have to look it up later.
So
everyone else knows. They're gonna, if the chat room knows, pipe in.
So what the workshop was cool, and I'll keep it brief. I'll keep it briefer. The girls and all their mentors were working all day long for 5-6 hours, writing very short skits and monologues. And they picked 8 of the most compelling skits and monologues made by these 14, 15, 16-year-olds. They had the actors pretty much cold read them, which were excellent. So we did like 4 or 5, and then the first panel would give their critiques. Oh, it was so beautiful.
I have found that when you have an actor, certainly not someone like Patrick Stewart or like Maggie Smith, probably this wouldn't happen. But I've had people do cold reads, like you give them a joke, and it's, I think, pretty fucking obvious where the joke is, and they will find the 9 ways to Sunday to fuck it up. Like they'll accent the wrong syllable, or like I did this. There was a show. I had it was a bunch of songs called. It was a commercial for an album called "Sold Out Gold." It was like famous musicians who did commercials like of their songs and fucked them all up. Like there was a operator was like, "Diarrhea, I hope I make it to the stall." It was one of those was like all these famous musicians who'd sold out their songs, and she kept saying, the girl who's reading it on stage kept saying, "Sold out gold." Sweetie, what the fuck are you doing? It's sold out gold.
Right.
God. So did anybody do that? Like,
No.
Just obviously fuck up a joke?
No, it was surprisingly funny, and there was a lot of the actors. I didn't really care about the actors, but they were pretty subtle, especially that first one, that Keiko. She could tell a lot with her body language. She really embodied the quiet teenage girl. So I
love the name Keiko. She's Japanese.
Yeah, of course.
Love it.
So the first panel would comment, "Oh, it's so beautiful. It's so wonderful. I loved it. It was so, I can't believe you're 16." So they were making comments. Then they took a break. They told us some more about Right Girl. My friend Karen came out and talked. Then they did another whole group of them and a different panels. So I guess I'm not going to read any of their names. How about the shows? Have you heard of Seventh Heaven?
Yeah.
The Starter Wife?
No.
Chicago Fire?
No.
Futurama?
Yes.
Okay, so there were screenwriters from there.
Yeah, good.
Were there.
Futurama, great show.
And I pretty much felt like, this is a wonderful fundraiser, and I found, some old dude to talk to and had an enjoyable conversation. But I didn't realize that my name was in the program. Yeah. And so that made it a little bit better. I was like, oh, all the people that I know.
Can you sign that for me? I want to take it home.
You can't take it home, man. I gotta. This is the first time I've been in a program where I wasn't a performer.
Beautiful.
Like, come on. I've been in hundreds of programs.
Yeah.
As a singer, or guitar player, or trombone player, but never as tech support. It was so good.
Rigor.
Yeah. Rigor. Hey, so I got a quick question before we get to our feedback. There's now we have a homeschool following now, by the way.
Oh, good.
This is explicit.
The homeschool community has
children should not be listening.
Here.
But now the homeschool community wants to know if the kid wants to get into doing lighting or any sort of technical work for TV and film. Should they go to college or should they just start going to work?
They should start going to work.
Okay.
Just go do it. If you know anybody who does it, go try to get a job doing it with them. You could do it through college, and they'll hook you up with an internship. But you don't need to. All the people you go to see movies, everyone that's working on that set, none of them got the job because they went to college. Probably it's always like, yes, for lighting, you could probably learn that, and then they'll hook you up with an internship. But usually, it's like you just go over there and say, "Hey, I really want to learn this." Okay, just work for free on a set, and if you bust your ass, they will keep you, and they will start paying you. That's how you do it. Okay. No one's ever bought a screenplay based on your resume that you went to USC. Might get you in the door if you went to USC, maybe, if your dad's famous. No, other than that, wipe your ass with a film degree.
Oh, nice. Oh, we forgot to talk about that. See, another thing in common.
That's going to show.
But you won't be
W9.
You won't be doing the chair to me, W9. I'm just saying. I'm not going up in the air anymore. I'm not at the top of the pyramid. Okay, so I gave some feedback on the homeschool Facebook group about that pretty much said the same thing. And then there's some statistics saying that if they do get a certificate or an AA, they tend to start a little bit higher. They save a year or two of work on the pay grade, assuming they can get in. So
I don't know.
I said, yes, if you find a work.
I think it's a waste of your time. Learn the stuff as fast as you can, and you go right to the set. That's where you learn it.
Yeah, start interning right away.
Yeah.
Great. So you want to get into a little feedback?
Okay.
All right. So it's really fun, by the way.
What are we drinking? AleSmith IPA. Very good.
Oh, yeah. This was totally distracted. Yeah, I stopped by the Trader Joe's.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you more about the Trader Joe's. The Trader Joe's on our special segment.
We're going to have a special segment. We have a special coffee segment.
After we do a little bit of listener feedback. So we often get email from listeners, and most of the time I just forget to read them. I forward it to you.
Or you read the ones that where they tear me a new asshole.
Right. That's right.
This time, someone else got torn a new asshole, which I enjoyed.
So I just wanted to share the first part of this. The listener writes in regarding the goldfish at the carnival incident.
Yeah.
He said, I had my own incident at the infamous goldfish booth. My daughter, whose weight is measured in increments of 100 goldfish, couldn't get a break from the future young Republican motherfucker teenager manning the booth to let her maybe move up a couple steps to try. These are the rules, he said. I had to walk away because if I could have, I would have peed on him. That is some serious feedback.
Wow.
Now, that was obviously feedback to one of the stories.
If I could have, does that mean he didn't have to pee at that moment, or is he afraid of getting in trouble?
It means I think he didn't have to take a leak.
Okay.
So
he didn't care about the ramifications of urinating in public.
Probably not.
If he had the urge. Okay.
Uh-huh. So now,
by the way, he does say young Republican. Is that a he or she writing that? I think it's a he. He does say young Republican there, and I was thinking, you sure it's a young Republican? Because it kind of has a little whiff of the sort of officious, over-regulatory California guy that's like, I'm sorry, step behind the line, sir. This is the rules.
These are the rules. You cannot break them.
Yeah.
I'm going to get in trouble if I let you do that.
I don't know. Could just as easily go the other way on that one.
All right. So there was another, in the same email, in two separate paragraphs, there was feedback from two separate segments. Now this one, duh. He didn't want to go to school because he was getting shit from his teacher for not doing his homework. Well, fuck me. But how severe could a preschooler's homework be? Do you remember this conversation?
Yeah.
Okay. Our daughter is in kindergarten, and I think it's good that she gets homework for the week. She fucking learns more. Gives us a chance for more bonding. Gives us a chance to know what the fuck they're teaching her and what areas she needs help with. Sorry, sounds like excessive whining on this one.
I have sympathy for both of your positions on that one because, I'm not a big fan of homework, especially too much homework, especially at that age. And I don't like the whining either, though. So I like him on that one. Just do it. Buckle down. I said parents, need to do a little more too. It's not all teachers' fault that the kids aren't learning. I don't know. I'm in the middle on this one. I don't know.
You did, but I choose to read Harry Potter to my kids instead of working on worksheets.
Yeah, or the worksheets could be too. At this age, they don't have that much, but look, this is an area where I shockingly would side with Europeans in this. Mm-hmm. There are actually a lot of these, like some of the Scandinavian countries, which I've said a lot on their style of government, but their style of schooling is kicking our ass, and they don't have a lot of homework. These kids have 15 minutes of homework each night, and they're kicking our ass. You don't need a lot of homework.
Yeah. So for Growly Bear, kindergarten is approximately age 5 in the U.S., and they're expected to start learning to read in kindergarten.
Sable's addressing Growly Bear in the chat room right now, but some of our other overseas listeners may not know what ages the kindergartners are.
Right. I guess we sort of assume people are going to go to Google. And
have you ever met a kindergarten teacher who said, I teach kindergarten?
Kindergarten.
I met one who said, I teach kindergarten. Like, oh, you can't pronounce your own job. Awesome. That's great.
So glad to have you there. No, we've had other problems with that, but
I'm a police officer.
Lice.
okay.
Ooh, nice.
Good for you.
So police reminds me.
So thanks for that listener feedback, though. Anybody else who wants to rake us over the coals,
how would they get a hold of us?
I don't know. You tell them.
Oh, by the way, my name's Sable.
Oh yeah, we already forgot to intro ourselves at the beginning of the goddamn show. I'm Dave Smith, and that's Sable Cantus.
Macroeconomically successful.
Micro. What did I say? Micro. Jesus, I haven't even drank that much.
This is professional right here.
Microscopically successful screenwriter and author. Yes.
We did it. We got there.
Yeah.
All right.
What else we got now? Should we move on to some of the news, or did you want to? We have a special segment coming up. Should we keep it for later? Your coffee segment.
Let's get to that right at the top.
Okay. I know Jesse's not in the chat room, but he's probably glad. No, we have a segment called Spill the Beans with Sable Cantus.
Brought to you by...
This segment brought to you by the I Doubt It with Dollamore podcast.
So in the last couple of episodes, I've talked about some of the fancier coffee available here in Los Angeles, where you can spend $15 for not that many freshly ground beans. And that's not really economically viable. And I never bothered to mention that's not how much... I don't spend that much every week on coffee.
What?
So,
you're still going? Okay, sorry.
So if you're looking for a good, can you hear that? If you're looking for a good, reliable, everyday coffee, you can stop by Trader Joe's if you live in the area like I did.
What's this called here? What
This is
are we
the
looking
Trader Joe's Organic Fair Trade 5-Country Espresso Bean Blend.
Ooh.
So you get a very large can of coffee beans ready to grind for your AeroPress.
All right.
For about $9.
Sorry, I'm getting over a cold.
Oh, sorry about that. It's very reliable, inexpensive coffee.
Beer just splashed onto my face when I took it down. See that?
Nice. We're enjoying our drinks over here, guys, while you're podcasting. I hope that you are also enjoying a beverage of your choice while we try to entertain you with our coffee talk. So this week, stop by. You can get a sample in the morning, by the way. Trader Joe's, they'll just pour you a little drip. You can see if you like it or not.
There you go.
Stop by Trader Joe's for your coffee this week.
All right. That segment was brought to you by the I Doubt It with Dollamore podcast. Oh, boy.
That's right. And then if you're a prodigious homeschooler, you will take the coffee can and reuse it for something else.
I'm reading chat room stuff. It's very funny.
Yeah, the chat room is great.
Chat room's popping off today with all those people in there.
And once again, Babbling Coffee has missed the coffee segment.
You missed the coffee segment, Babbling Coffee.
Just barely missed it.
It was brought to you by the I Doubt It with Dollamore podcast.
You can see the video. There's your Trader Joe's
God
special.
damn it. This beer keeps splashing me in the face when I put the glove. Good Lord.
Dave needs help learning
All right, what else we got?
Dave needs help learning how to drink. Well, I wanted to mention for all of you podcast fans out there that the Google Play Store finally, after 6 months, is now providing podcast support. So you can go to Google Play, or you can open up your Android phone if you get the update, search for The Indispensable Thursday Show, and subscribe right on the Google Play.
Yeah, right on Google Play. It's very cool. I like the Google Play app interface. Yeah. It looks a little like it's designed for like learning disabled people. Mm-hmm. It's got that orange, big blocky sort of big pictures, but I like it.
Yeah,
and
it works.
I've uploaded a crap load of my own music to it. You could upload 50,000 of your own songs to there, which is very nice.
But the podcast section is in the same app as that, but it's not the same. But in the podcast section, you actually can listen and stream to the podcast rather than having to download. I tend to.
You can download it too. Can you download? Yes.
You just press play. It will.
Will it download? Can I download to my device once they get that going on the app? Because they don't have it on the app yet.
Yeah, there'll be a little arrow.
Okay.
But they don't. They asked us to say, please ask your listeners to listen or stream their favorite podcasts.
Yeah. I've actually switched over now because I don't like using all these different apps for stuff. That's a good all-purpose app for radio stations, and I'd love for them to incorporate stuff like iHeartRadio, like live radio stations.
Right.
That'd be great. Then I don't have to strip down even more.
Right in the phone.
Strip down my app usage, I mean.
Oh, right.
I never listen to the radio naked.
So
I mean, I always do because I work from home.
So, Dave, you said you're just getting over a cough. There was something about your marksmanship that came up in our pre-show. You want to tell us about that?
Well, I started this class. It's one of the reasons we're doing the show on Tuesday instead of Wednesday. I'm trying to. I forgot to
Thursday show.
Yeah, I forgot to go to college when I was younger, and so I could make a little more money for my real job than I do, and even though it's a pretty good gig, but. So I'm taking this class. It's rather rigorous. It's a medical terminology class, and
what does that mean?
Just learning how to read medical words, like what the various parts of the words mean. Like if you look at a word like otorhinolaryngology, ology is the study of, and then it's auto, which of or relating to the ear, rhino is of or relating to the nose, and then larynx is the throat. So that's the ear, nose, throat doctor. So you break apart things like that. The origins of these words. So it's a lot. There's a lot of material. But anyway, I went to this first class last Wednesday instead of recording the show. And what was that? Dave needs to learn to swallow.
Dave needs to learn to swallow.
You chat room people cracking me up. So I'm at the class and I'm getting sick. Like my back was stiff again. You long-time listeners know about my back tribulations, and it's a little stiff right now still. It was very stiff. So slow to get up, and I got to kind of work it out before I can walk without hurting myself. And I was also getting a sore throat. Like I was working the lozenges of the class. It was a 4-hour class.
Oy.
Yeah, it's it's like I said, rigorous. And so I'm like, oh my god, this was brutal. So I'm like, I want some comfort food after I left. So I went home. I went home at like 10, and of course, best thing to eat at night around 10 o'clock. I would say is. No, even better would be Tommy's chili cheese fries with some peppers.
There's never a bad time for Tommy's.
No. So I get those, get home.
You get that chili burger?
Most of the time I do. At this time I was
Coda
just
had one
fries.
too. Can you smell it? He's killing us.
Yeah, lift up his tail and you could smell chili cheeseburger.
Damn
Good
dog.
Lord. Oh, dude, yeah, he really did. Oh, Coda. Oh. To me, the people that printed this Right Girl program never knew how handy it would come in right, as it is right now, waving away
so
the
bad.
funk from your dog's farts. So anyway, I go home and I eat that, and I'm like, but I'm feeling sick too. So I took some ibuprofen, I took some NyQuil, I took some other stuff, and go to bed after like another hour of trying to study. My back hurts, and I'm like, oh, this is horrible. So I took some Coldies too, those the ones that dissolve in your mouth.
Yeah,
the zinc oxide, which by the way actually does work.
That's
the only cold remedy that actually does what it says it will do. I highly recommend that for anybody. As soon as you start thinking you're getting a cold, go right to the fucking drop what you're doing, like pull out of your wife, jump out of the car, whatever you're doing, stop, go right to the Walgreens or whatever you've got and buy some of this stuff and start using it, because it half the time will knock your cold out completely. Like it might go away. Anyway, that works. But I go to bed and I'm noticing like I wake up like maybe at 2 a.m. and I'm like, oh God, I feel kind of nauseated. Oh, Jesus Christ, what's going on? I'm like, but I kind of did some deep breaths and then I fell asleep again. But then I woke up like a half hour later. I think I'm like, oh God damn. But then I started kind of feeling like
is this going somewhere?
Yeah. Then I started kind of feeling down in the nether regions, like some kind of churning. I better get up and go to the bathroom. So I get up and go down the hall. And
Dave has a churning.
I start having the churning. So. Sitting down, I have a seat in the bathroom there, and I'm like, and I could, when you turn off an air conditioner, you could hear the fluid kind of like, I could hear that in my stomach. I'm like, oh, like on both sides, it's like I hear liquid draining thing. I'm like, ooh, my goodness. And so start immediately peeing brown out of my butt, and it's just like, oh no.
That is not a show title.
I hope no one. Growly Bear usually does this during lunch, so I'm very apologies to Growly Bear. He's in Singapore. And he's eating lunch during our show sometimes.
We're heading off to a meeting.
So I'm filling up the bowl with this putrid stuff sitting there. But then I start, it starts to, much like just a minute ago, the smell. Then the smell starts to get my nausea feeling up. I go, oh dear. So I kind of get a towel and I just kind of put it over my face so I could just smell towel. But it didn't work. Suddenly, just beautiful. Like textbook arc of brownish chili looking right into the wall in front of me.
On the wall.
Under the wall. Under the floor.
Oh no.
Took out a beloved green bath mat I was like, Bath Met, we had some good times, but I don't think you're going to make it through this ordeal. Lands, it just piles up in the corner, and I can't. And I'm like, I don't want to get up. Stuff is still coming out the back end. So I'm just gonna see where this goes, So I think I had another 6, like straight into the wall.
I can't believe it went into the wall,
right on the wall. And I took out, we have a little toilet paper dispenser. Took that out, it splattered off of there. And then finally I'm like, okay, I think I'm done. And then I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm not done cleaning up the back end, and I'm looking at this pile of vomit dripping down the wall, and I'm the only one awake. It's like 2:45 in the morning.
Oh, no.
And I got to clean this up now. And my back is sore. And this is a small bathroom too. My bathroom, it's not roomy. Mm-hmm. There's not a lot of, it's like, oh God. So, and then I hear someone walk past the door. I'm like, oh shit, my wife's up, I must have waken her up. And my underwear have puke on them. So I take it off, wrap with one of the clean towels that was far away, grab that, wrap that around me. And so I go out, I shut the door, I go, do not go in there. Just kind of like Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, do not go in there.
Whatever you do.
You do not want to go in there. Or
you do not want to go in that bathroom.
I picture her just walking in there and just barfing because of the horrible, it looked like Hiroshima in there.
Oh, man.
And so I got to clean that up. So boy, that took a while and I took out one towel that was hanging there. I had to throw one of the girls' robes into the wash. I was just, it was horrible.
Oh man.
And yeah, so that's what I was doing last Wednesday night, and then I didn't study for a couple days after that because I was so. Anyway, was that what you were asking about my?
Yeah, your marksmanship. You hit the bullseye all over the wall.
Yeah.
Oh dang.
That was not pleasant. Hope that doesn't happen again for a long time. I know it will eventually, but
wowza. So I got another piece. How do I even go on from this? Oh man,
you can't top that.
I'm not trying to top it here. So I got another piece of listener feedback that said they really enjoy.
Growly Bear's been there and done that.
Some of the technical stuff. So I wanted to do a quick follow-up because I know we were going to keep this week a little shorter than some of our prior shows.
I hope so.
So I want you to...
I got more studying to do after this.
I want you to open up WhatsApp on your phone.
Okay, I'm reaching for my Android.
So we were talking about WhatsApp last week and their complete secure end-to-end encryption.
Okay, I have WhatsApp, and I'm looking at it now. I see your face looking at me.
Right, now open up the message that we have.
Okay.
So this is one of the things that, with WhatsApp using the Signal open protocol, the one that's well respected in the security community, you can tap on the name of the person.
Did you mean to send me this picture of you in the mirror with your pants pulled down just to the bottom of your pubes and the top of your cock?
Exactly.
Because I thought you were probably meant to send it to your wife or
big group
girlfriend.
send.
Okay. So can I delete that?
Send it out to everybody. So if you want to verify, and this is a good trick if you happen to be in Saudi Arabia and you think anything other than whatever the government wants you to think, because they consider it a terrorist act to not believe in Islam. Mm-hmm. So you want to text your friend about that.
They're a great society over there, by the way.
All right, Human Rights Commission. You tap on the name in the chat, and there's a section called encryption.
I tap on the name.
Tap on my name.
Like that?
In the chat. Yeah, click on the encryption.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a lock there.
Yeah, click on that.
Click on that. Okay.
And now what we get, we get a unique code. Now, the code should be exactly the same for the two of us. And if it is...
barcode thingies.
Right, so we could scan it. Or if this code is exactly the same, then we know it's not possible for a government agency to be intercepting our messages.
Yeah, we're matching. It's cute. We're matchy-matchy.
So here's your tip. You want to make sure you're talking with your friend or your girlfriend. You open up WhatsApp. You scan the barcode. It gives you the green check mark.
How do you scan the barcode?
Bring that back over.
How do you scan the barcode?
I'll show you. Bring it back up. You click on scan code. Bring your phone over closer to me.
Oh, you have to scan it off my phone?
Well, there's two ways. So you do the scan code.
Can I send it to you to scan or something?
Nope.
Well,
say I got a big green check mark.
Okay.
The other way.
So you're verified now. You verified me.
The other way is, since the numbers are the same, I could read 28103. You'd see those are the same. Then you could read the next one.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
So you would read the next
set. That's the 86391.
Right. And we could go through all the characters as long as they match. We also know we could be on other sides of the world, but we could have a completely secure private conversation.
So if you're interviewing Edward Snowden, he's going to be appearing on next week's podcast, by the way.
And Ed Snowden would want to use WhatsApp.
Yeah, he would.
That's for sure. So that's great. A little technical update for you guys.
Tech chat
on your secure WhatsApp.
We're already out of time, but we could do a couple.
We're already out of time. Well, I have two more things for you, Dave.
Okay.
First of all, I wanted you to react to some of today's top stories.
Okay.
So I opened up.
Is this Dave sucks at improv? Or just I'm just going to give my opinion.
This is just going to be reaction.
By the way, yeah, okay. I'm sure you're going to read the story I was thinking of because it's news today.
Right. So I picked your favorite website for news.
Drudge Report.
DrudgeReport.com.
I love Drudge because sometimes you'll click on a headline and it'll say, world to be destroyed by an asteroid tomorrow at 9 a.m. And then you read the article and it says basically, no, we're safe. Often will have the opposite. The headline will be opposite of the story.
Right.
Funny.
Well, headline writers. Yeah. So just off the top of your head, Dave, news of today, now this is weird because we're going to air the show on a Thursday.
Right.
But since today was such an important day on Tuesday, April, what is the date? Anybody know? In the chat room?
I don't know, 19th or something, 18th?
Anybody know? It's the 19th.
19th.
Wow. It should say it on this website.
People who are listening on the 20th are just going to delete it now.
Don't delete. I just want to hear your reaction. Mm-hmm. Trump wins in landslide, vows immediate action on executive orders.
Oh, God. Well, so what is President Clinton going to do with executive orders exactly once he wins the nomination? Because when he wins the nomination, it's automatic election for Hillary Clinton. So this is one of the reasons I hate his fucking ass because he's getting her elected. Mm-hmm. It's so embarrassing having this guy fucking everything up. Hillary's very beatable. I don't like her. I think she sucks. And very beatable. We had any number of perfectly good Republican candidates who would clean the floor with her, probably. Mm-hmm. And then this fucker gets in there with his retardedness. God, he's stupid. Although I did go to his website recently just to read some of this. The website's not as crazy. I would look at the healthcare spot. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, all right. Not a whole lot of specifics, but some specifics on what you do. Okay. I like it. He didn't mention anything weird about like how Asians have small penises or anything like that. Nothing weird in the health thing, but
just things that he would say in his rallies.
Normal. I was like, okay, but Ted Cruz to me is the only person who understands how an economy should function. So he's actually my guy. Somehow I hope he could maybe Trump will stroke out or something or get killed in a helicopter crash or something, one of his private jets. We could just pray.
Should be the right time.
And then maybe Cruz could go on. But Hillary Clinton certainly does not understand anything. If we get her, it's more another at least 4 years of economic malaise, sort of. We don't understand why the economy sucks. Let's double down on all the stupid shit we've been doing for 8 years.
And more kissing of the ass of the Saudis.
Yeah, more kissing of Saudi ass.
More bowing and scraping. All right, let's move on to another one here.
Yeah.
Hannity battles Cruz on delegate snatch.
I don't think that's very... was the woman there that they were talking about?
I think they were fighting over her laying on the bed.
When you say vagina is a lot more
appropriate. I'm just reading the headline.
Or nethers.
It says snatch.
It says snatch. I don't know what Hannity said to him, but he's probably a little annoyed because I know Hannity probably feels that people should be allowed to actually cast votes and you shouldn't be able to do this trickery, flim-flammery, where he's able to grab the delegates without an actual vote taking place, which I think is kind of bullshitty. But the reason this delegate system was set up was to keep people, retards, and crazy people like Trump from getting in and fucking things up. So,
right.
And he's following the rules. He's winning on technicalities. Like, hey, okay. It's almost like when the guys like NBA when they do a free throw, like they miss on purpose so the other guy could try to get a rebound and get a 2 points instead of just the one that they were going to get.
Right.
That kind of it's like a little bit of a hey, come on now, but it's within the rules.
Right. Okay. Well, that follows with the next one I want you to react on. Ted defends voterless elections.
Well, I think I just said what he's probably going to say about that. I was like, hey, whatever means necessary. I'm following the rules. If he doesn't know, he brought a knife to a gunfight. You know.
Okay. Oh, looks like they're just
I like the
refreshed their
fact
sites.
that Cruz is not giving up. I kind of like his feistiness. So yeah.
Okay, I got one more for maybe two more. Two more.
Okay.
Saudi Arabia borrows $10 billion as oil slump drains reserves.
Oh, those poor guys. They needed a loan. Who did they borrow it from? Us?
Us.
So, okay. they needed to borrow money from us. Wow. I have to read that article to really...
you have to read it. Ooh.
Right off the bat, I say, stupid move, but look who our president is. Not surprised. Very good.
Okay.
Did we give it to him? Yeah. They did borrow it from us?
I'm just reading the headlines.
For fuck's sake.
Texas secession gets real.
Yeah. Never happened. I would support it, though. And I would go there. I might want to move there.
Might want to move there?
Just to check it out. Why not?
Move there in your trailer.
I like trying out new shit.
Yeehaw! Dave and his trailer.
Can we do that again clean? We could just catch this as a drop.
You want this as a drop?
Yeah.
Yeehaw!
That's pretty good.
That's going to ring. I got another one for you. Ready for this?
Uh-huh.
When I used to hang out in the LA area, I had some friends at SC, and they were doing a contest on the radio. Lots of, I don't know.
What station?
It was a local SC station.
Okay, the student station?
So I called in. I got the biggest shout out because I could do this. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the whatever it's called, the best we've heard all night. Who was that by? Was that Juan?
It was a Jew.
Was that Roberto?
No, it's Sable Cantus.
All right, thanks a lot, Estable.
A Jew? It was a Jew.
No, man, it wasn't Jew. It was me.
Now, how would the Mexicans pronounce Jew? Would they say it was a who?
It was maybe.
It was a who.
I don't know. We'll have to ask a Mexican sometime. I think that was already done, though.
My friend Caesar would sit in for Ask a Mexican. He's pretty good at that. We did that at my birthday. He was there taking questions from people.
Okay. Dave, I had to give you one piece of feedback, personal feedback,
okay.
That I can't share most of the things that were discussed, but specifically, Jesse Dollamore will come back on the show someday as long as you're not a pussy.
I'm not a pussy.
He said, you're a pussy.
Uh-huh.
And that you back down of every question and every argument. You'd get fired up. He'd say something. You go, well, I kind of see it like that.
Okay,
and I'll make it a point. Not going to come back on the show.
I'll make it a point to man up and argue more.
Till you could not be.
That's a deal. That's a deal.
So maybe we'll rearrange the room so you guys are facing opposite each other.
Well, like now that the field, like there was one thing where he said, "Who's your guy?" and I had no idea. Mm-hmm. Now my guy is going to be Cruz, even though he has no chance of winning. But now that it's winnowed down, I'm like, okay, it's going to be Cruz.
Okay.
I'll say, I'll say why. But basically, I'm a one-issue voter, and that's economy, and he's the only person who understands it. So I guess we don't have to talk about that anymore. But, maybe some other things.
All right. Now, you said you remembered a sketch scene. Dave remembers.
You guys were talking. There was someone in the chat room who was a cheerleader guy, and I was making fun of you, but it was really out of jealousy because I know you guys actually got closer to the snatch, as Hannity was talking about earlier.
The snatch,
where the girls sit on your hand when you're doing that move, where you hold them up. But I was thinking because I had to do a sketch show where I had to make out with. Actually, Stephen Colbert's sister-in-law, she was in the show with me. But it was a sketch that she wrote. We had to make out.
You made out with Stephen Colbert's sister-in-law.
Yeah, she was in the show, and her husband is his brother. He was in the show. He was in the audience, and I had to make out with his wife during the show.
There's a song about that, by the way.
What's that?
I Have a Lame Claim to Fame by Weird Al Yankovic.
Fame.
All right, so you're making out.
It was a good sketch. It was she wrote it. We were making out, and I keep stopping, and she says, "You think my tongue is fat, don't you?" And I'm like, "No, it's you have a voluptuous tongue." It was good, but we had to. There's like a little preamble, like, "Okay, we have to make out." So do you? It was like, how do we want to? Are we going to like? Blah, blah, blah. Is there a conversation? Clean and snatch, she says in the chat room. There, that's what it's called. The move. Is there a conversation you have to have with the female that's going to be sitting on your hand with your palm pressed firmly into her taint? Is there some sort of do you have to get together and like chat about it for a second?
You have many hours of practice.
Okay,
And
but first time when it's like, okay, you're going to sit on his hand.
And so what you tell her exactly what you're going to do. Mm-hmm. You say, first, I'm going to put my hands right around on your hips, and we're going to do a basic lift up to my shoulder. You're going to go to my right shoulder, and we do it.
sorry, chat room's going off. And
okay, chat room. That was great. Okay, and then
that would definitely be an icebreaker there. W9
you do your
I'm not going to say
off.
what he said though. It's just so awful.
You say ready, okay, 1, 2, ready, and then up on the shoulder, and then you get another hand ready. And you say, now we're going to go to the chair, and you get a nice, good meaty
Nowadays,
hand
though,
in
on the
there.
college with the current current climate with this stuff, is there an app that you both need to? Do you have to give your consent now to put your hand on her taint?
App, yeah.
All right, that'd be great. I want to see that app. How many hands do you have? So, all right. So, but there is. You're just telling her what you're going to do.
You just tell her what you're going to do, and she complies.
I
think
like
that's how
that.
it works.
I like that.
Or she's off
so
the
much
team.
Simpler if that. Or yeah. Oh, okay. I see how it's working.
Wow,
now.
wow, man! If
Did
I
they get
only
paid 70 cents to the dollar what you guys got paid on the cheerleading team?
I think I made about 1,000% more than the women did.
Yeah. Right. I like
Right?
that. Strong negotiator.
They needed somebody that would show up, and I said, "I'll show up for money."
Oh, he's raining on my parade there. W9 says, in reality, it is a very sterile move and done professionally. I know, but
It's not sterile in my remembrance of them all, of all those times.
I'm thinking if I got a hot girl up on my hand, I'm thinking that's right there in my palm. I got it in the palm of my hand.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's how it works. So, well, that's super fun. And
then afterwards, you have a valuable relationship.
Of course. A little small talk on the bus ride back.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that was my remembrances.
So, Dave, do you have anything exciting for us for next week?
No, I just hope I pass my test and I can relax a little bit because it's the first test. It's very hard, and hopefully I'll be able to come up with some more humor for the show.
No more Dave's double projectile.
God, I hope not.
All right. So if you fail the test, what happens?
If I fail the test, then we just resume work on our other podcast that we're going to start working on,
right.
pre-production.
That's some off.
We're going to tease that.
Stuff.
Yeah, we could say we're working on something.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll start on that Sunday, but we can
Okay.
focus more on that. Otherwise, it'll get moved aside. Of course, as usual. No, I do want to work on this new thing with you, Sable. That's going to be great.
All right. That and just a quick show note. Game of Thrones season 6 starts this Sunday.
So I'll be over here on Sunday.
If you want to watch it with me, you'll be here.
I think I do. And there's some NBA games going on. If anybody out there in California, we can do some chatting on that. The Golden State Warriors are they're up 2 games against the Rockets without their best guy, Stephen Curry, who's basically the phenom right now. The guy's insanely good.
Is it like chicken curry or beef curry?
Stephen Curry, I don't know. It's like in the middle. It's like a turducken mixture.
Okay.
He's really good. He's nauseatingly seems like a very nice guy. He's got a super cute wife and a kid. His mom's hot. She's always in the stands, and he is fucking good.
Wow.
And then, by the way, the Golden State Warriors just broke the record for most wins in an NBA season. They beat the Bulls record back from the insane Bulls of the 90s with Michael Jordan. I think they won like 71 or 2 games out of the 82 games that you play. Pretty amazing. But he rolled his ankle, and he's been out. They still won their first 2 games, so that's a good goddamn team. Exciting stuff.
All right. And in our final wrap-up, we talked about new podcasts. You listen to any new podcasts
I
this
do.
week?
I have another one. Yeah. This one is called You Must Remember This.
Ooh, okay.
It's hosted by a gal. Don't remember her name. I didn't have it prepared. You just asked me, and I was just listening to it.
Remember this.
Yeah, that's a reference to
A
the
kiss is still a kiss.
the famous
like that?
song from Casablanca. She does sort of historic Hollywood stories but she goes more in depth, kind of like Liar City does. They go a little more in depth on these stories about liars. But she goes into I'm listening to a rebroadcast of one now. It's about Howard Hughes and his many relationships, and very interesting. She does a great job. So it's called You Must Remember This.
You must remember this. Is it on Google Play yet? Do you know?
Pretty sure it is. Yes.
All right. Google Play is so new, not everybody's there.
I learned
yet.
about that one on the Dana Gould Hour, which is a really good podcast too. Dana Gould puts out, it's called the Dana Gould Hour, but it's usually at least 2 to 3 hours, and he does it maybe once a month or something. Every 3 or 4 weeks he'll put one out. That's a damn fine podcast too.
Okay.
Dana Gould Hour.
I was going to recommend the Daily Bugle, but John Oliver, that asshole, he was with you sick. You shouldn't have been making out a sketch with him, and he's like missed the last episode. He got on, he was like, I'm kind of sick.
That Bugle podcast is quite funny.
We're not going to be able to do anything. So,
yeah.
Next time I'll recommend the Daily Bugle.
Okay.
For a good comedy podcast. Yeah. I guess we should wrap it up then.
Let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up.
Thanks for being in the chat room, Growly Bear and W9.
Babbling Coffee.
And all you other people in there. Babbling Coffee. I think Babbling Coffee's gone already.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us on the show. This is Sable Cantus and
Dave Smith.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye. And we're back.
Are you still recording? Because I was going to play us out with Van Halen, Take Your Whiskey Home.
You play it into the
here you go.
microphone.
Off of my Chromebook.
Well, my baby, she don't want me around. She says she's tired of watching me fall down. She wants a good life and all the best. But I like that bottle better than the rest. And she said, I think that we're headed for a whole lot of trouble. Well, I think that you're headed for a whole lot of trouble.
I'll cut it off pretty soon.
Okay. This is great audio right here.
Okay, there you go. Take your whiskey home.
Take your whiskey home.
From the
All right.
Women and Children First album.
Once again, see you, Dave.
Good night.
Thank you for listening to the Indispensable Thursday Show. You can subscribe on iTunes and anywhere that fine podcasts are served. Join us on our Facebook page or send us a tweet to @SableandDave.